What's up, world? It's your girl Lex, and you're tuned in to Put Me on Game. And this is my very first episode, and I'm so excited. I have a very beautiful young lady that I am interviewing today by the by the name of Meka Harrell. How you doing today, Meek?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I'm blessed and highly favored, as they say.
Okay.
I could be dead in the grave, but I'm not. I'm here.
Hey, woke up today.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, so let's tell the world who Meka Harrell is.
yes. So, Meka Harrell, I am a fashion loving, fun, excitement, FOMO fearing military wife and mama of four. I am also a part of the lovely ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And that's me. I'm just down to earth, honestly, and silly. Once you get to know me, sometimes I might have rest and bee face, but honestly, I am the silliest person you ever meet.
That's great. That's great to hear. So with all these titles and being a mother of four children, right?
Yes, for
Four little
oh
ones. Yes. What are their ages?
Lord. Okay, we got 3, 5, 7. Those are my boys, and my daughter is 11.
Oh wow. Bless you, child. Bless your uterus.
Me.
No. But yeah, so being a mother and having all of these many titles that you have, and how are you coping with what's going on in the world right now with the pandemic and COVID, and you have school age kids and being able to cope with virtual learning?
Right. So honestly, it's crazy. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you can see in my Instagram stories, I just like to keep it real. It's not easy. I just left my job with American Airlines, so I'm staying at home like a full-time mom and entrepreneur at home. So I honestly feel bad for people who don't have the help. Like, I'm blessed to be able to stay at home with my kids and focus on their virtual learning, because that's hard as I don't know what. About to start a kindergartner with virtual learning. He told me the other day that he is not in kindergarten because kindergarten is not in his house. So it's hard. The way that I cope is just by making sure that I have time for myself. That could be a Target run. I'm going to the store. I'll go get the groceries for dinner, and going to like one of my favorite like a fast food place, getting some sweet tea and some French fries, and sitting in the car and eating that before I come back in the house. That's how I'm coping. Like, I got to keep my sanity, because I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to focus on yourself before I can focus on anybody else in this household.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's back up a little bit and let's tell everyone. I want you to talk to me about your upbringing. I know you're from Baltimore. Be more.
Baltimore, Meka from Louise, baby.
Yeah, I know you're from Baltimore. So I want you to talk about, your upbringing and how
Yes.
it was growing up in the infamous Be More.
And I am East Side certified. I grew up, born and raised right by Johns Hopkins Hospital. Um, I feel like we had a good neighborhood, but of course there were people selling drugs and, the stuff you see on The Wire. But for the most part, I don't know. I am a city girl forever. Like, I still want to move to the city. I want my kids to move to the city. I want my kids to be raised in the city, because I feel like city kids they have more independence. They just have this like swag about them where they're confident, they're independent. I just can't even imagine like my kids now. We have to drive everywhere to take them anywhere they need to go. But I don't know, just growing up in the city for me, I feel is what helped me be the person I am today. I was raised by my grandmother. My mom was addicted to drugs. So one of my funny stories I always tell is that my mom was addicted to drugs, and I always would say, yo, if she ever came to my school, I would swear that wasn't my mom. I'd be like, yo, that's my aunt, because I never wanted her to come up there and embarrass me. And I think that's so sad for a kid to have to come up with a plan to lie about their parent.
Yeah.
That was just the way it was. I was ready. I had my lie ready in the back of my pocket. I was ready to pull it out. My dad was murdered when I was 4, so I never really got to meet him. So honestly, it was my grandmother. We grew up considered foster kids. She got like checks for me and my sisters, which was good because my grandmother has that hustle mentality. And so that rubbed off on me. The things that I do in life, like she knew how to get a check. She knew how to get extra money if we needed it. She could hustle and get the things we needed. We never went without lights. We never had we didn't grow up in a house with roaches and all that stuff. I am afraid of bugs to this day. And we never had those things or those issues. We always had clothes on our back. We just grew up in a city. So it just helped us, I feel like it helped me to be the tough person that I am.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Do you feel like your upbringing, I don't know if I want to say the hardships you went through, the real ships that you went through, do you feel like that prepares you to be the entrepreneur and the mother that you are today?
It absolutely prepared me for that because, for one, right when I graduated from college, I had to take care of my 2 sisters. So when everybody else graduates from college, they get to go home, be with their parents for a little bit longer, get to party and figure their lives out. I had to go find an apartment, find a random job to take care of a 16-year-old and 14-year-old, enroll them into school. Well, technically, I had my younger sister. I enrolled her into school, found an apartment, and then my middle sister, she ended up getting pregnant, so she ended up moving in with us. So I ended up going to social service. I was on food stamps. I got assistance. I figured out how to let my sister become my foster child so that I could get assistance. But the one thing, the upbringing with us is like my grandmother, she never really talked to us about money and finances.
Mm-hmm.
And she never really had anything to show for it. So when I did the foster care for my sister, I made sure that I talked to her about how much money I got. Like I get this amount of money. I'm gonna split it in half. I'm gonna keep half, and you're gonna get half. I'm gonna put your half of your half is going into your savings account, and the other half you can have every month spend, and go shopping with. So that's how we did it. And I just feel like that's so important because if you don't talk about finances growing up, you just don't know what to do. You're just trying to figure everything out on your own. And that's a lot what I've done, just a lot of figuring things out. I signed up for my own financial aid. Unlike other people, maybe their parents helped them get into college. Nobody in my family graduated from college. Nobody in my family, my direct family, went to college. So I found a college. I fill out financial aid forms. I did all that stuff. When we got those refund checks, that was the only money that I ever got. I wasn't having anybody giving me money throughout the school year. I had to figure out a way to make my refund checks last into the next refund check. So those things definitely helped me grow as a young adult. And then just being raised without my mother has helped me become a really great mom, in my opinion, because of what I lacked growing up, I give to my kids. So I didn't have a mom. I didn't see my mom every day. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm telling my kids I love them because we really didn't grow up saying I love you and my family. Even though I knew that family loved me, nobody ever said I love you. I tell my kids I love them all the time. And just doing stuff with them and just having those memories and just talking to them about stuff. I don't want my kids to be afraid of me and afraid to talk to me about stuff. I want them to be able to come and talk to me about anything. And sometimes it's like, what the heck did I do? Because Maverick, this son, will come to me and literally talk like anything. He will just say it. Like, I have a question. And he comes with these questions. And I'm like, I wasn't prepared for that, but okay. So yeah, I feel like the way I was raised definitely helped me become the person that I am today.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me.
It was a lot. Try to reel it in.
I know, right? Everybody that's watching, I'm just going to go ahead and spill the beans. Meka is my line sister. We're both members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I know she already said that, but she's also my cousin. She's married to my first cousin, and you are a phenomenal mother. There's no way I could do what you do. Like, no way. So kudos to you, hats off. And just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're very independent. Even in college, watching you, you were always independent. You know, you were the bacheloress of our chapter at Livingstone College.
Right.
You were always involved in different things. You know, you were a pageant queen for the Alphas. You were a member of the cheerleading squad. Like you just always did something. You graduated with honors. You were always that young lady that people looked up to, including myself. So
I appreciate it.
and
I just
and I'm
always
glad.
wanted to strive for success, man. You know, just like growing up in a city, you just want to, you see where you grew up. I just wanted to be the best that I could be. So that's why I went so hard. And like we joke about it now with like Omi and them, they always laugh because my first year of college, I did not go to any parties. I just did all my studying. I was like, I don't have time. I got to study.
Y'all never told me that, but
I had to start off with a high GPA. And so I could just like go with ease for the rest of the years.
yeah, well, I never knew that because you know y'all are a little bit older than me, but I always looked up to you. The whole crew, Omi, Amber, you know, my big line sisters, if that makes sense. But yeah. So when did you decide that you wanted to become an entrepreneur? Because I know you've been in a few different career fields. Like you said, when you graduated from college, you know got a random job, like a lot of us did. But we did what we had to do to get to where we are today. And just when did it click in your mind that you were ready to be an entrepreneur, or you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I have the craziest story ever. So I was like 11 or 12, and me and this girl is my friend. Her and her mom lived in a shelter, and we came up with this idea to sell people these blocks of wood with their names decorated on it. So we like collected all this wood. We went into my backyard. We pulled out fingernail polish. I don't know why we didn't think about using paint. But clearly we could walk to the corner store and buy all the fingernail polish we wanted. And we were decorating this wood with like graffiti name, and we went knocking door to door trying to sell wood. I don't think we sold any freaking wood names, but I knew that was the first moment that I got the touch of entrepreneurship. It was like, yo, this is hot. Somebody gonna buy this. And why were we knocking door to door trying to get orders? So that was my first time. But then what really solidified my love for entrepreneurship is working in my godfather's clothing store. When I was 16 years old, that was my very first real job. I worked in a clothing store. He let me order all the clothes, Parasuco, Meka, Aniche, all the name brands, urban brands and stuff like that. He would make me get on the phone. He taught me how to order the inventory. He taught me how to look at what we had and when I needed to order, how to fold the clothes the right way. And honestly, it was just like everybody in the community respected my godfather. He was just known for having like the best white tees. Everybody would come up in there, buy the Jabot jeans and all that stuff. And they'd be like, yo, Dada, you need your goddaughter need to get commissioned. So I didn't get commissioned. I don't even remember how much I made, but everything I made, I just turned around and gave it right back to my godfather because I bought everything in the store. And I ended up being like a walking billboard for Meka and everything because they were like, where you get that from? And I'm like, Dada's. And so people would come in, and then I was like, yo, I need a raise. So I talked to my godfather and he gave me a raise. But then we ended up moving to North Carolina. So that was like my first moment of like, I am going to be an entrepreneur. Like, I love this stuff. I could breathe it. I could just wake up and everything about it just made me so excited every day. So that's when I knew like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to own my own stuff one day.
That's so dope. That's why you used to stay laced at Livingstone with all the Parasucos, you know, like all the Baltimore and DC girls.
I had Parasucos, Meka, all that stuff, and Nietzsche.
Yeah. Oh, that just took me all the way back. But so also Meka is a designer, and the shirt that I have on is one of her shirts.
Yes.
That was cool.
It's an auntie shirt.
Yeah, I didn't know that you
were cooler
Godfather's store. So that's cool. But yeah, she designs shirts. You can check her out on Mom Slay.
I'm rocking my shirt today.
And she makes shirts for the aunties like me, you know, my mom and auntie. But yeah, so with entrepreneurship and being a Black woman in America, in these United States of America, come on, Ivy. Come on.
Ivy says to steal the show.
I know, right? What are some of the hardships that you go through or have gone through as a Black woman, you know, being an entrepreneur?
So I'm gonna say, like, I've always tried something. Like for me, it's all about trying to find the right niche and hone in on those skills. So one thing that I did, I had a fashion truck back. Well, first I had a kids clothing line, because when I had my daughter Elle, I had a kids clothing line. Then I moved that and made it bigger and made a fashion truck, and it was the first fashion truck in North Carolina, and it was pink.
I
So
remember.
it's that was a moment when I really noticed, like I would have some of the same items you would see in these boutiques here in Winston, not here because I'm not in Winston, but in Winston, literally they had sweaters, the same exact sweater. And I feel like this boutique was selling it for like $75. I was selling the exact sweater for $40. And people still want to get a discount. Oh, that's too high. That's too high. So I feel like as a Black woman, it's just like they value that you don't have the same value. You know what I mean? It's like you have to prove yourself even more. I'm selling this same exact sweater. Like we got it from the same place. Now you're willing to spend $70 just because it's a white boutique versus selling it to me or purchasing it from me for like $45. And you want a discount? Stop asking people for a discount. Do you ask the Gap for a discount when it's not a sale? So that kind of stuff, like that grinds my gears. It's just not seeing the value in Black women. We are so creative, we're so strong. And then also people need to recognize that Black women can have times when they're vulnerable. We don't have to be strong all the time. We are human beings, we're not robots. So those are just some frustrations that I have being a Black woman and some things that I've gone through. It's just noticing that people aren't valuing me based on like, because I'm Black. Now, if I was a white girl with this fashion truck, they would have bought that damn sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for that.
Absolutely. No, you're fine. Speak your truth, queen.
So that just was so irritating. But I found my niche. I always ended up going to Charlotte because Winston-Salem just wasn't ready for this Black girl with her fashion truck. So I would literally have to go to Charlotte at food trucks, and no one ever questioned. They would just purchase. And I mean, I sold stuff to white people, Black people, Asian people, and it was just the best. But in that little city, it was just like, oh, what is this? Is this stuff free? I had someone ask me, was it free? Why do you think you can hop up on here and get free stuff? What are you talking about? So, and it comes from both ends. It comes from us, our own people, as well as other people. It's just like, respect me and my business. Just respect me. Show some respect.
Yeah. I think, because, you know, I'm a designer as well. I think some people just don't know any better.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say that's what it is. Some people just don't know any better. Some people don't, they don't really understand what we put into our businesses, you know, right. Not just the time, but the money. Like a lot of our, you know, small Black businesses, we don't have business loans, you know, we exactly. Have 3, 4, 5 different hustles, and we take that money and we fund our business, you know? And so that little bit of money that we're making, we need that to put it back into our business.
Exactly.
I don't think that people understand that. I think that our peers, they see that we have a business. They see the glamorous side of entrepreneurship, especially when you're a designer, when you're, you know, a social media influencer, you know, things like that. They see the glamorous side of it, and that's all they see. They can't see past the smoke and mirrors. They can't see the hard work and the time and the money that we don't have that we put into our right. businesses. So I just think that's what it is.
I'm gonna say so true, because like even now with me, so now I've gone from kids clothing line, fashion truck. Now I am a full-time influencer, lifestyle influencer. And people are always like, oh my gosh, how did you get that free stuff? It's like, first of all, hi, hello, how are you? It's not about just getting free stuff, but you have to build. You have to invest in photography, makeup, clothing. I have to invest my kids sometimes for these pictures, and it's just a lot. And so that's why I like to show That's why my Insta stories are so long, because I really want you to see the real life that goes on. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I legit have a 5-year-old having a tantrum because he don't want to be his teacher, and I got to bribe him with Starbucks. I got a dog over here running crazy, a 3-year-old who never wants to go to sleep at night. How am I going to sleep at night? So it's just a lot. So yeah, I don't think people realize, like you said, it is a bunch of smoke and mirrors, but it's hard work and dedication. You have to have some type of ethics and, just like morale, motivation, and everything to really succeed in life. And if you want to do something, you just have to be really motivated and put in the work. It's work. It is so much work, and people don't understand that. They don't understand, like, even with blogging, like, you have to come up with an idea. You have to pitch that idea to a brand. Yeah. Then they come back. You have to show your, I'm even showing my value now with offers. I'm getting email offers for like $200. I'm not posting anything on my Instagram page for $200. That's absolutely no, I will not. You can find someone else. I'm at the point in my life where I'm providing quality pictures. My photographer was almost $200. You know what I mean? I'm not, and if I post for $200, I'm making nothing. So it's showing your value in everything that you do and believing in yourself. I honestly, Lex, I just increased my rates Monday, and I just got a campaign for my new rates. And I was like, dang, I should have been increased my rates.
Yes, you know what I mean? The price just went up.
What I was doing before. So it's just like, why didn't I do this earlier? So sometimes you also have to know that you are valuable yourself. Start within so that other people can see the value. So yeah.
That's so dope. Congratulations. I'm not going to ask you which brand because, but I'm sure you'll be posting for this brand before.
I'll be posting to make sure you comment, like, and share.
You know what? It's funny you were just talking about being an influencer. I watch your stories. Like, you wake up so early in the morning with your good morning stories with the songs that you choose. And then I know I stay up late.
Right.
You're still up. You're still up. You're still posting stories. And then I'm asleep. And I wake up and you're doing it all over again. And you're balancing the kids and you're balancing being a wife and you're balancing still living, and having a social life for yourself. Right. Plus, on top of being an entrepreneur, like, girl, you are doing it. You are doing it. How do you stay motivated?
I really try to go to sleep, but it's hard because I'm just a natural born night hawk. I just love to stay up at night because everyone in my family is asleep, and that's the only time I get to myself. So it's just like, I'm gonna watch Netflix.
Axel's up that late.
Oh yeah, he'll come and I'll have to lay him beside me. He'll lay on my leg until he passes out.
Yeah. So with all of that, how do you stay motivated?
Well, I'm gonna say honestly, I feel like my kids are my motivation. I'm also motivated by myself because like I said earlier, I've always just wanted to have a better lifestyle than what I was raised with. Mm-hmm. And I just know, like, it was something that I've always felt, and I don't know if I ever told you this, but God told me that I was going to be successful at a very young age. And I just knew that. People always say, how do you stay so positive growing up without your mom and all that stuff? And I was like, because God told me that I'm going to be good. So it's like, why would I dwell on that? Why would I have all that negativity when I know that I can be better? I'm motivated by myself. I don't look to compete with anybody else because what's for me is for me. Yes. I mean, I don't care what you're doing. If you cool, I'm going to, of course, I'm going to be excited for you. But what you have, I don't want because I want what's for me. So I want to make sure that my kids, like, just what I have right now, this is a dream come true. Owning a house, having a rental property, having 2 cars, having my kids here. They have their own space. Our lights are on. We have food in our refrigerator. We have Apple, MacBooks, like the computers that they need to go to school virtually. They don't want for anything. You know what I mean? Literally have to teach them how blessed they are because I'm pulling out brand new toys out of the garage after I'm giving away their other toys. So I'm just motivated by my family and myself.
Oh, no, that's right. So we talked about your past. We talked about what you're doing now. hindsight,
Yes.
looking back and looking, what you went through and where you're at now, what would you tell 15-year-old Meek?
15-year-old Meka, man, let me think about how, when I was 15, okay, it was right before my 16th, well, right before I started working at Dada's. And it was just at that stage where I know that I wanted my mom around, but also I didn't want her around. I would tell her to love on your mom and you just appreciate and respect her regardless of her circumstances, because she's not going to be here forever. So just love on her. And I would probably talk to her more because there's so many questions that I had that I don't even know answers to, and I'll never know the answers to. You know what I mean? So I would tell 15-year-old Meka to respect your mama, and that's your mom, regardless of what lifestyle she chose. But you need to love up on her when you do get to see her. Not that I was disrespectful to her, but just the fact that I didn't, like, I felt ashamed. Like, you shouldn't feel ashamed. That's your mom's choice, not your choice. You know what I mean? But again, kids are cruel. I will fight somebody if they say something about my mama.
I say what I want to say, but you better not say nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
I just tell myself, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep the path that you're going, because things are going to work out. That's what I would tell myself.
Absolutely. So, the show is called Put Me on Game. We talked about your past. We talked about what you're doing now. What advice do you have for young Black people out here that are trying to be entrepreneurs? Like, give me 3 things that they need in order to become successful entrepreneurs.
All right, 3 things. Let me think. Let's see. I would say number 1, you have to have the motivation. That's 2. I was about to say motivation and dedication.
So, you know what? Scratch the numbers. All right. Speak your heart.
Motivation and dedication. You have to be dedicated to your craft. If you're not dedicated to your craft, why do you think somebody want to come out here and buy anything from you or what you're selling? If you don't believe or value your product, then why do you expect somebody else to? The second thing I would tell them is, don't expect your family and your friends to buy your stuff.
Say that one more time.
You don't have to. Don't expect your family and friends to buy your product. And don't get mad if they never buy it. They don't have to do anything. That's their money. Don't count somebody else's money. Do what you love because that's what you're passionate about. And if they support you, that's amazing. That's awesome. But don't have these expectations that people have to purchase from you. And number 3, I would say, just make something, whatever you're doing, make sure it's something you would do, even if you didn't get the money. Like, make sure you're so passionate about it that you will wake up every day and do the same thing. And I can tell you this, like, I love social media. I will post on Instagram if I wasn't getting paid, because I was posting on Instagram when I wasn't getting paid. I love everything about social media. So I know that I would do this. So this is how I know that I found the right path for me. So those would be my tips, as I would say.
Thank you so much, Meek. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun.
All right.
I told you, but I want to do rapid fire questions with you.
Okay.
So let me get my phone out right quick.
Hit it.
I don't know these questions by heart.
And I'm gonna say I don't like to prepare for stuff. I just like to
lots of die laughing.
Gosh.
Okay, so
is it crazy stuff? Okay, go ahead.
No, they're not. They're not crazy. It's just some that are really funny to me, and I know they're gonna be funny to you. Well, this really is a rapid fire. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received is, what's for you is for you. Just to always know that what God has for you is meant for you. So you can't count other people's blessings, and continue to cheer people on, because your time is always coming. That's one. I live by that. Like, I'm going to hype everybody up that I love. Even if I'm not shining, if my friends are shining, I'm shining. That little drip, a piece of that sun ray gonna come on me. Vitamin D.
Oh gosh. Okay, so if you had the choice to have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh, I want to go. I want to be invisible.
What?
I
Why?
want to be invisible because I'm gonna go up in these banks and get some money.
Girl, bye. Oh God. I did not think you were gonna say invisible.
Got me a new Gucci bag for free.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Okay.
God forgive me.
This is a good one. What is your ultimate turn up, get crunk motivation song?
Oh man, let me think. Hold up. Ugh. See, okay. With me, I don't have like one song. I go to these phases in life where I will listen to an album every single day. And so right now, sorry. Elle is literally on the step doing like this, like, But I'm gonna have to go with Janae Aiko and what's that song? I can't think of the song, but it's like the song about when she dies. Party for me. Party for me. Oh. Because like I just want when it's my time, I want everybody to party for me. Y'all need to be laughing. Y'all need to be watching my favorite shows, playing my favorite songs, thinking of all the fun stuff. And it's like party hard for me when I'm gone. That song, I love that song because it's just like focus on the good. Even though you sad, just focus on that good stuff. So y'all need to be eating hibachi or eating Chipotle, okay?
Yes.
Chipotle.
I got you.
And watch Netflix for me when I'm gone.
I know that's right. Oh, this is a good one. And I know you probably got a few. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. I got a lot. Do not come around me saying salmon, drop the L. It ain't Simon, it's salmon. Salmon, okay? I hate that. I hate it with a passion. Like it drives me insane. It drives me nuts.
Well, Uncle Larry will definitely drive you nuts because you know my daddy says salmon.
Yes, as well as your aunt. Or they actually say Simon. And I'm like, who is Simon?
I don't want no Simon.
I really also hate, I'm not going to say hate. I despise people that are just like, how can I put it? It's like, why, who feel stuck up? You know, like I get people are shy, but like when you've been around this group of people over and over, let loose and stop acting crazy. You know, like get the stick out of your butt. That's irritating to me. It actually drives me nuts. And to the point where I'm just like over analyzing why this person is acting this way. And then I'm just like, why do I even care? But stuff like that. But we're going to say salmon is my number one pet peeve. I hate it. I just it's the story.
Okay, so I know we all have fears. What's one of your fears that you're ashamed of?
I don't know. The only fear I have, maybe is I know I'm not ashamed, but like the fear of dying without completing all the things I feel like I should do. And I shouldn't be ashamed of that because you don't know when it's your time to go. You don't know the day. That's why I'm just like, you got to do what you got to do. But I just don't want to die and I did not do something that I put my mind to. So that's something that I'm kind of like, I guess a little bit ashamed of. But I am afraid of roaches and bugs. Like if you have a roach in your house, I am not coming to your house. Okay. I will like go crazy. Oh my God. It just makes me feel like they're on me. Bugs.
Oh God. Okay. When you hear the words 757, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Or what?
No one's gonna get that.
Oh.
Yeah, I got you. So funny story. Let me come here, Ivy. Get up here. Come on, Ivy. We're almost finished. Come on, Ivy. You don't want to get
I'll be trying to
any
steal the show.
Come on.
Marley's right here being a good little girl.
Marley, please teach Ivy some manners. But yeah, so let me just go ahead and explain this one right quick. Drop this disclaimer. So when we were in college, Ludacris had this song called I Got Hoes. Area Codes. That's
Area
Codes.
I call it I Got Hoes.
And the part, there's a part in the song where he says 757 410.
But it's like we always have to find each other.
I'm from the 757.
Across the room, and I will make eye contact with you just to say 410.
Okay, all right. So last one, crab legs or blue crabs?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to take it back to my roots, man. Blue crabs, but I love crab legs because I'm lazy now.
Oh, if you wouldn't have said blue crabs, it was gonna be a problem.
Oh my god, no, it's blue crabs, and it has to have Old Bay.
Yes.
Like covered to the point where you touch it, it's all over your fingertips,
Yep.
and you have to use newspaper.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it ain't real.
If you're eating blue crabs on a plate, I can't trust you.
Don't trust your judgment at all. And if you call the inside mustard, you might be a little bit crazy.
Exactly.
It ain't mustard. Okay?
It's gonna have a clue what we're talking about. Nah. No, but oh my gosh, I really enjoyed talking to you tonight, Meek. Thank you so much. You made my first episode amazing. I was nervous as hell, but you got the jitters out.
I don't know why she was
a phenomenal mother again, a phenomenal entrepreneur, a role model. And thank you for sharing your story. I know it wasn't easy, and I'm glad that you shared it though, because there are so many young Black girls and Black boys out here in the world that go through or have gone through the same thing that you've gone through, and they're afraid to tell their stories. They're afraid to move on from, you know, where they've been in their past and, you know, move towards the future. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for putting me on game.
Oh,
Use these tools, especially for social media.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks so much and have a good night, girl.
All right, girl. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.